The Viking speaks to you about the runaway smash hit musical Hamilton. All right, I saw it, and I'm going to tell you what I thought about it. I'm going to give you my little review, but I'm also going to give you the review of a huge fan who happens to be my brand new fabulous boyfriend, Dan, that I'm going to introduce the world to. Dan.
Hello.
Okay, so this is Dan right here. Okay, now
Got it.
he's the new cameraman. Very good. Now, Dan is very smart.
Thank you.
And now you went to school for some fancy degrees. Tell the world about your fancy degrees.
First one was at Cooper Union for electrical engineering.
Okay.
And that Cooper was free at the time.
Yes.
And then I wanted to do an MBA, and Boston University made me an offer I couldn't refuse. They said
NBA as in the basketball team.
So Boston University made me.
Yes.
They said, "Come on up here. We'll comp your tuition."
He is 6'4".
I had a way to get 2 master's degrees at the same time. So I did an MBA and a master's in information systems.
So no basketball.
No, not so much.
Okay. So now, in order to do all those fancy degrees, do you have to know left from right?
Yes.
See, I wouldn't.
At a bare minimum, really.
I wouldn't do very good in that. But that's okay. He probably can't play the ring cycle.
Right. You have to walk and chew gum as well.
I can
all
do
kinds
that.
of things. Yeah.
And sweat. Anyway, okay, so now you saw Hamilton at the Public Theater.
Yes.
In its earliest public incarnation.
Yes.
Okay, now what did you think about it, and how did that all come up?
Loved it. I had not liked rap and hip hop before, and this didn't have the typical elements of it of gangsterism and misogyny.
Exactly.
Yeah. So and I think I've heard it said that it's more like sort of rap was in its original days in the '80s, and which was not
When
what I
I was
heard growing up. Yeah. So no, I loved it. My friend Melanie, who knows and loves me very well.
Yes.
And so she knows I'm also a big New York history buff, and she herself is a member of the Alexander Hamilton Society.
I didn't know
which
that.
is a thing.
Oh.
So she called me up.
You could join.
And she had waited in line to get these tickets in like the standby and whatever. And
Yeah.
she said,
Probably ours.
"Yes, oh yes, oh yes." She didn't let me forget it either. So
Well, that's what friends are for.
Yeah. She is from Oklahoma, but she's
They wait in
mastering
lines in
she's
Oklahoma.
mastering the whole New York Jewish mother guilt thing going.
okay.
She's really gotten good at that.
Okay.
Anyway. So
what did you
she
like
called
about-
me up. Well, she called
okay.
me up and said, "Okay, I've got this ticket. You're going to pay me $120 for this ticket, which
Yes.
is what I paid, and you're going to thank me later." And in fact, I did.
In fact.
Yes.
Okay, good. So now you're a huge fan of the show.
Yes.
We saw it together, which I'll get to in a minute, I promise, folks. A couple of yes or no questions for
Okay.
you. Yes or no, you know the entire score cold?
Not the whole thing. I know maybe half. I've listened to the soundtrack at least probably 13, 14 times. And if this was a regular musical, I would know it by now. But
Right.
this is like a Sorkin script. It has twice the density of dialogue as any
it
other
takes
show.
a little bit more work in
Yeah.
order to get okay. So
In fact, there's very little time, I think, where music is playing and people are not speaking. I think the
didn't
term
think
is a
there was any of
sung-through
that.
musical.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so
It's
like
kind of
like
a
Evita
rap
is another
opera.
one like that.
A rapper. It's a rapper. Okay, now
Nah.
next yes or no
I don't think
question.
that term's going to catch on.
I don't even
no.
like it, but it's good enough for the Viking videos. Okay, so now yes or no? When we saw it together, you mouthed along.
Oh,
with
yes,
90%
quite a lot.
Of it. Okay,
Yes.
I thought that was kind of cute. Now, yes or no? You could do like if I said do such and such number, you could start at the beginning and do most of it.
Good chunk of it, yes.
Yeah, see, he's smart like that. It's
Well, and it's rapid fire dialogue. Well, it also would help. I'm a big Aaron Sorkin fan, and I love a lot of
fire.
his.
Ha, ha, ha. So funny. Do you have a favorite song?
Yeah, it's probably the cabinet battle between Hamilton and Jefferson.
Oh, in the second act? Was that like
Yes,
the
because
debate?
it's during the Washington administration when they're
okay,
both in
yes.
his cabinet.
That was
So,
interesting. That
yes.
was interesting. Okay, now you're also reading the Chernow book that it's based on.
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce his name?
I believe
Chernow?
so, yes.
We're going with that.
Yeah.
Okay, now how does that differ from the musical, other than it's not in rap?
Well, it's also much denser.
It's probably cheaper too.
What? Well, yeah.
Keep talking.
I don't know that it differs so much. It's just that one's a biography and one's a dramatization.
There you go. There you go. That's
So
good.
there's that.
Okay, good.
And it's also. To me, it's like. Well, okay. Well, we'll take an example. I would imagine it's not all that different in terms of how does the play Salome differ from the opera?
Oh, right.
Right.
That's a very
Think
good
about the
question.
differences there. Now multiply that difference by probably 3 or 4 fold,
See, he likes to do math.
and you have the contrast between this
Handy,
biography,
too.
this biography, and
Yes.
the show. So
Okay,
and
so
what I did like, sorry if you don't
No,
mind,
keep going.
What I loved about it, I mean,
my video.
it's there's only one Caucasian in the whole cast, the guy who plays King George. So
Oh,
these are
yes.
people of color, and when they introduced the show, or rather when they
liked that.
interviewed him, the creator who wrote. Scored and saw, not scored, but he wrote the book of the play,
Yes.
and the lyrics,
Yes.
and stars in it,
Yes.
Playing Hamilton himself. And this is the second time he's done this.
Yes.
They asked him, so if the founding fathers, they obviously don't sound like you imagine them sounding,
Yes.
and guess what? They don't look like you imagine them looking either. And he said,
Who
what I
cares,
thought, well, no,
right?
but he said what I thought was a great response to that.
What was that?
Without any sense of being offended or anything like that, because I mean, obviously anticipated the question. He said it's the story of America then, told by America now. It looks like America now.
Now, I want that on buses across this
Yeah.
country, and it will be. I guarantee it.
Oh,
You
when
know,
it goes
it's like
on tour,
Cats
they're going to be all over
forever.
the place.
You know,
Yes.
you can't.
Yeah.
The cats. Not the cat. Cats. It was basically like you can't escape us. That's basically what their advertising campaign was. Okay, now, obviously he loved the show. I did not, and I still can't figure
For reasons
out why.
passing understanding.
Well, I just don't know. Everything was right about this show. The writing is fantastic. The acting was superb. The direction, impeccable. It's very hard to direct a show like this.
Especially from on the stage.
It's right.
No, he has a
Smooth.
director that
Oh,
obviously
very
yeah.
good director. Spontaneous. I loved that. I just couldn't get on the train. I don't know why I didn't like this show. I just didn't. There were two numbers that I did like. I liked the King George first number. I thought that was
Yeah,
kind
so
of
he's
cute.
hilarious.
And I
King
like
George,
that
just
kind
for
of
those that don't
music.
know, he kind of comes in. He's the comic relief,
Yes.
so to speak.
It's very
Yes,
funny.
Yes.
Okay, so now
And we were lucky enough to actually see the very last performance of
the other
the guy
one?
who originated the role, Jonathan
That's Groff.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
so
right.
he originated the role. And I saw him at the public too. He's very, very funny. He really knows what he's doing.
I love
Yeah.
the colorblind casting. It's not a new idea, but it's a great idea.
I
I
wouldn't
like.
call it colorblind. Quite the opposite, actually.
Okay,
It's very color aware.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Now, what I liked about that is that it didn't look like you were looking at like a guided tour. It was like, here's the story. We're gonna play it sort of like that, and here's these people playing these parts.
Yeah.
It was. My imagination was excited by that. I wish they would do that more in opera. In any case, now I have decided what would make this show better.
Okay.
Okay, it needs Betty Buckley in it. And she's got to have a couple of really
In what
big numbers.
role?
Not rapping.
Well, but
And
there's
it's
no.
got to be in a sequin dress
There's
designed
no-
by Barbara Matera.
There is no woman even approaching
coming
that age
down
group
a
in
giant
this show.
staircase, preferably the one from Sunset Boulevard.
I don't think there's a woman over 30 in this show.
They all died.
Okay.
But
What do you mean?
Betty's still alive. Okay, now the other thing it needs, Jackie Hoffman. I want Jackie Hoffman in this show. I want her to rap. I want Jackie to sing some really annoying lyrics that she's just made up and screech. It's going to be fantastic. Anyway,
Okay.
so it's. I would recommend that you see the show if you get the chance to see it. It's very hard to get the tickets. We got them.
You have to buy them about a year in advance. You know somebody at the show.
We
You have a
didn't.
connection, right?
I'm not going to tell you how. In any case, so now the only thing that so Betty Buckley in this show. See, I'm obsessed with Betty Buckley and Sunset Boulevard. I want her in the sequence. Okay, anyway, so her, Jackie Hoffman, but I'm going to rename the show. Danilton. It's cute. Give me a kiss.
Okay.
Bye.